Kimo Sabis. Today I'm going to be working on project Teeter Tot, my Audi TT Quattro project. And if you're new to my channel and you like to get caught up on these videos, there's a link up above. Just click on that and you can watch a bunch of videos on Teeter Tot and you'll get caught up on this project. So for those of you who are caught up on this project already, you know last we left off, I was trying to clear the fault codes that the car had. Basically came down to I just have fault codes for the aftermarket downpipe I have on here and a few miscellaneous other things. Really no big issues that will get cleared once I put a tune on the car. And we also built boost for the first time. Now I need to tackle the Quattro system and get the all-wheel drive working. So and this is Teeter Tot's new drive shaft and the most awkward possible way to bring a box into the garage. You're welcome. I found this drive shaft on eBay and it was the complete thing. It has the bushings, the carrier bearing, all the hardware, which is great because I was missing the hardware and my center carrier bearing was completely boned. The bushings are kind of shot, so hopefully this will be good to go and I won't need any of that stuff. I can just put it on the car and drive it. So here is, this is the end that was damaged on mine. So that looks good. Here's the center, the CV joint, and here's the rear. Yeah. Now there's three things that I'm really looking for since I bought this used. I wanted to make sure, since they took it apart to two pieces, that the drive shaft was marked so that way it'll remain balanced when I reinstall both halves together, which they did do with a white paint marker, so I can line it up. The other thing I looked for was bearings to make sure that they were in good condition, and it looks like before they mailed these off to me they were repacked with fresh grease, and it also has the hardware, which is really important because I didn't have any hardware. First, I need to assess the situation, and I don't mean Jersey Shore. I can't help it. I used to like that show. Used to. Here's what we're working with. Here is my new mid pipe that is part of the down pipe. Here's my coat hanger that I'm using right now to support the mid pipe, and up there is my carrier bearing. So that needs to go, and then this is the old rear section that has to go. Now up towards the front, I'm really dreading having to do this part, but the rest of it should be fairly straightforward, I would think. And then here is the rear of the car, near the rear diff. This is the final part back here that needs to come off and get disconnected. Also looks like I'm missing a brace. You see there's two bolts right here that don't go to anything, and then on the other side of the car there's two more. So I believe there's like a cross member brace that goes here, but I'm missing it. It wasn't on the car when I bought it. To the rear. 3. Oh my god, it's off. Holy crap. Well, oh my god, this thing's heavy. Let me get out of here. Oh, shit. Here's that crappy center carrier bearing. That is ridiculous. What is that? What kind of a mechanic does this? You can see here what a good carrier bearing is supposed to look like. I mean, it is, the bushings are a little dry, the rubber's a little dry, but you can see there's little rubber pieces right here that suspend your drive shaft in the center, and those are supposed to reduce vibration, I would imagine. And that is That's some janky crap. Okay, before I crawl back into the car and stick this drive shaft on, I have some announcements for the channel real quick. You guys, I have merch finally. I have merch after so many people asking me, when are you gonna get merch? I finally set up a Teespring account. It's live. The link is down below to go check it out. And I don't know how this Teespring is gonna be. We'll give it a trial and I'll see like feedback from you guys. If you like it, if the service is good, the products are good, I will continue using Teespring for my merch. Anyway, back under the car. Ran into a little bit of a problem. I do have the rear drive shaft mounted up for now. I know this is going to be a factor when it comes to driving this at speed. Who knows what that speed will be, but there are washers right here of different thickness that go on where the Phoebe bushing connects to the rear diff. Well, those different thickness washers, I'd imagine, are weights to even out vibration when the drive shaft is rotating. Now, because I'm putting a whole new drive shaft on here and I'm using old hardware, those little weights, I guess, or washers, I couldn't just put them back on there because this drive shaft is different. The other issue I just ran into is I don't have bolts that connect the front Phoebe bushing to the actual drive shaft. I don't know if you guys remember in past videos, I did a couple videos at this Audi parts place here in Tucson. He supplies Audi parts for lots of S4, like B5 S4s and all roads, and I just called him. He might have the bolt I need, so we're gonna head down there and see if he has it. Kapow! Just like that. I got some bolts. He gave me 3 bolts for the drive shaft for free. So yeah, now time to go put these back on the car. 1 bolt, 2 bolts, I'm not gonna do that again. No fit. So in order to get the drive shaft up alongside my downpipe, I either have to A, remove the downpipe, or take the Phoebe bushing. I keep calling it a Phoebe bushing and I don't think it's actually called that. I think Phoebe is the brand. I don't know, I'm gonna keep calling it a Phoebe bushing because I like Phoebe Buffet and we're gonna go with Phoebe bushing. Open. Where are you? This is gonna suck so hard and not in a good way. That little spot of light is the clearance I have to get the drive shaft through. I'm gonna try to take the bracket out of here and see if I can get the bushing past this brace and that brace with these being removed. It might have enough clearance. No way in hell I'm gonna get that big bushing past this area. It's just, the only way possible is if the car was on a lift, I could probably tip it in, but that's still wishful thinking. I don't even know if that would work, even on a lift. It's a really good thing I'm ambidextrous and I can use both arms. Comes in handy. Got it. That is the last downpipe bolt, nut, whatever. Yeah, buddy. I got them both up in there. It was smart taking the downpipe out first and then getting the drive shaft in and then putting the downpipes in afterwards. That was so difficult for me to say. Why? That right there is why I'm glad I sprayed this car earlier with bug spray, because that's a black widow. And I know spiders are needed on this earth, so I can't hate them, but that's absolutely disgusting, and that thing could have ruined my week because that would have really messed me up. I'm sorry you had to die, Spider, but it's you versus me.
Thousands of tears later.
I am not happy right now. I think this is the angriest I've ever gotten working on a car before. I got so angry under the car I started to cry. I was so pissed off at this car. I cannot get the two sections of the drive shaft to join together. So here's the rear housing. The other half is under the car, right there hanging. And here's the ball bearings that go inside here and were attached to that little cup that you see underneath there. But it's a huge pain to try to put back together. I think I need to have a moment of honesty here. All of the project cars on this channel are huge piles of shit soup. And this is how I spend my Friday nights when I'm single. Oh my god, I can smell the cats in my future. Ooh. Yay! Drive shaft is all back together. It's 9 o'clock at night. I didn't know it was going to take this long to do this. I haven't worked with CV joints in like probably 7 or 8 years since the last time I had to do something like that, and I completely forgot how they go together. So I was fighting with it, trying to get the two halves to go together, and then I did some research online and I remembered you have to take the ball bearings out and then turn the cup and pop one in and then pivot it, put another one in and pivot it. So I did that and I got both sides joined together. The crappy thing is I don't even know if the drive shaft is balanced the way the two halves went together now, because everything was covered in grease. I couldn't see the marks anymore and I was just so frustrated trying to do it under the car. And I just got to the point where I didn't even care anymore. I gashed my leg wide open underneath the car and I started bleeding all over the place. And now I'm gonna look like a lot lizard because I'm full of bruises and bangs and cuts and ugh. This is Sarah not happy. I'm just gonna keep working. There's no sense in cleaning up right now. I don't care how late I work tonight. I'll just keep going until it's done. New problem. Because I assembled the drive shaft at the center by the carrier bearing, I now can't get the end over the input shaft that goes into the drive shaft. Okay, so this is one of those YouTube videos that doesn't go well. The part doesn't get put on the car doesn't get fixed. I just spent 13 hours out here working on this car and I'm backwards progress because now I have my downpipe off and the car is not drivable. So I can't get the drive shaft on. Problem being is I was trying to get the center CV joint to flex so I could get the rear half of the drive shaft onto the rear diff, and I can't unlock the CV joint. I was trying to twist it so I could get the ball bearings in there to like spin so it would free up so it would flex in the center, and I couldn't do it. Like I was trying as hard as I could and I couldn't get it to flex. So I went up to the front again to see if there was any like slack up there that I could make up, maybe tighten the hardware, and this is the hardware I got from the Audi shop earlier today to attach the front half of the drive shaft to transmission. Well, these bolts are too long. They're not the right bolts anyway, but they were the same thread, so we figured they'd work. But the problem is because they're too long, they go all the way through and then they hit the transmission, so there's no way to be able to drive the car. These would be like pressed into the transmission and you just snap something to try to drive it. So sorry I didn't make any progress in the car, you guys. I'm pretty bummed out myself too. I'm really bummed out actually. I guess I'm just gonna kind of tie the drive shaft up with some rope or something under the car. I'm not gonna put the downpipe on, and I'm just gonna push it out into the driveway until I get the right hardware. Sucks now the TT is not drivable. So yeah, that's the end of this video. I'll see you guys soon with another. Bye.